Hello Internet, and welcome back to my Big Damn TV Geek vlog. I know I said last time I was going to try and post a second half of Daredevil review next, but the second half of the season didn't really grab my attention the way the first half did, and I actually haven't even finished it yet. In the meantime, I have much more pressing things to talk about. We need to talk about Season 6 of The Walking Dead, you guys. Major spoiler warning up top. I'm going to be talking about anything and everything that happened in Season 6, so if you're not caught up, seriously, stop now. With that out of the way, I have spent the better part of the last day thinking about the Season 6 finale of The Walking Dead and how much it was the last straw for me with this series. I've always had kind of a love-hate relationship with the show. It's had some really amazing episodes, but it also has pretty regularly had some major issues. Season 6 saw the show kind of really dig its heels into its worst tendencies, and I am over it. All of these issues really started in the first half of the season when the show kind of fake killed Glenn. The entire concept surrounding that was so ridiculous. The idea that someone could survive a zombie horde just because a dead body fell on top of him and he crawled under a dumpster is patently insane. In addition to being completely ridiculous, it also undercut any tension the show had created about main characters maybe dying. This is a show where a lot of characters die, but by using such a cheat with Glenn's death, going forward, I just haven't believed they're going to kill any of the main characters. It feels like there are characters that are just safe, and that really destroys any of the drama and tension on this show. And to make matters worse, the show tried the same stunt again, to a lesser degree, with Daryl in the penultimate episode, having him get shot at the end of the episode and not show up again until basically the very end of the finale, and it's a whole lot of cheap tricks that aren't working. Probably my biggest complaint in at least the second half of Season 6 has been the way the show has treated Carol. Carol is my favorite character. She has been for several seasons now. So I want you to understand how much it hurt me when I turned to my boyfriend halfway through the finale and said, I hope they just let her die. They've assassinated her character enough as it is. The character arc they gave Carol in this last 8 episodes or whatever it was completely ridiculous. She's had such a good story arc up until this point, going from the mousy, abused housewife to the badass that she is now. And then all of a sudden, over the course of 4 episodes, she goes from badass to I'm going to leave and cry at everything and I can't kill anybody anymore, with basically no development or explanation whatsoever. It was really poorly written. It does an absolute disservice to the character, and Melissa McBride, frankly, deserves way better material. As long as we're talking about things that make no sense, how about we talk about how dumb everyone in Alexandria is, and how they've just completely discarded logic and reason in the last couple of episodes. Within just the penultimate episode, in order to get all of the characters where the show needed them to be for the big Negan showdown, Daryl had to be dumb enough to go out alone in search of revenge for Denise. I don't even know. That was never really made clear. Glenn and Michonne and Rosita had to be dumb enough to follow him. Then Daryl and Rosita had to be dumb enough to fall into the Savior's trap. Meanwhile, Morgan and Rick were dumb enough to go out looking for Carol, leaving Alexandria basically without all of their best fighters. And then Morgan and Rick were dumb enough to let Morgan stay out by himself and continue searching for Carol. I don't understand. Do none of these people realize that they have the safety of the walls of Alexandria, where they have quite a stock of weapons that is worth protecting, instead of scattering all over and hoping for the best? It's completely fucking stupid. As long as we're talking about the Saviors, it would have been really, really helpful if the show had picked a consistent characterization for how this group operates and how intelligent they are. We had the group that stopped Daryl and Abraham and them in the premiere of this half season. They just seemed dumb and willing to pick a fight. On the other hand, you had the group of women that captured Carol and Maggie that were super intelligent, very strategic, very sharp and ready to do whatever it takes to protect their people. It doesn't seem to add up for me. And then the same group that was dumb enough to let an entire compound of their people get killed in their sleep, has nobody heard of having somebody on watch? They've now turned around and coordinated this extremely and strategic effort to round up the Let's Get Maggie to Hilltop gang in order for them to encounter Negan. It just makes no sense. They're either like these vicious, awful, strategic, intelligent killers, or they're dummies that are worth slaughtering. But they can't be both. Which brings us to the infamous Negan. All season, all we've heard is how they're finally introducing Negan to the show. He's going to show up in the finale. They've cast Jeffrey Dean Morgan. The finale is heartbreaking and intense and some of the darkest stuff we've ever done. And it all leads up to that fucking cliffhanger. What a slap in the face to an extremely loyal fan base. Any emotional impact of the death of whoever was at the receiving end of Lucille immediately evaporated when that screen cut to black. The chances of making it to October without people in Atlanta where the show films figuring out who's not on set anymore seems slim to none. Plus a, 5-month wait or whatever it is between the impact and the result, to me, only lessens the emotional impact. It doesn't heighten it at all. So this was just a huge, huge misstep in a season full of them. And I, for one, don't expect to be going back for season 7. What did everybody else think about this season of The Walking Dead? Are you looking forward to more of the show? Are you going to stop watching like me? Let me know in the comments. As always, please like and share this video. Subscribe to my channel so you can keep on watching my vlog. You can follow me on Twitter at BigDamnTVGeek. And there's a link to my blog, my Facebook page, and the podcast I'm doing now in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.